running gun ads without bans. So when you're running ads on Facebook, my general rule of thumb is that we need to get approved to run gun ads on Facebook. To get approved to run gun ads on Facebook, we need to get approved to run ads about social issues, elections, and politics. Welcome, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Got tons of people coming in. Gary, good to see you. All right, a couple of things. We have a winner from our contest, and I will play that here. All right, so we have our contest winner for our 5-star reviews. The contest winner being Security Training Center. That's Adrian. She actually won by only 2 reviews. So Saddle River Ranch, Sean's team, pulled in 2 reviews less than she did, but there were some 258 to 257 or something like that. It was very, very close, but Security Training Center won the 5-star review contest. And, oh yeah, 228 reviews at the bottom here in the last 90 days. And Sean with Saddle River Range was really just 2 reviews behind. So we're so that happened. But 228 reviews in that amount of time is no small feat. That's a tremendous amount of work, and that's a testament to the hard work that she and her team put into this. So 5 stars to them from all of us. And we also had some new members to the Firearm Marketing Accelerator family. I want to say a welcome to April Copenhaver. And April is from Bob's Little Sports Shop in Glassboro, New Jersey. We'll have you introduce yourself here in a second. Also, Vinnie Craig from Silverback Arms, 1776 LLC in Melissa, Texas. Actually, Vinnie is a transplant from California, moved over to the land of the free, and has not looked back, and is starting a retail business over there. Brenton Musgrove, good to see you. Also, Double Tap Taxes, Kansas City, Missouri. Just so glad to have you here. It's been a long time coming. And Roland and Carrie Colon with Tactical Edge Customs here in Naples, Florida. Guys, we're fired up to have you here. So April, why don't we start with an introduction with you? Go ahead and just kind of let us know a little bit of background with, your store and what you guys do up there in Jersey.
Hi, my name's April. I'm from Bob's in Glassboro. We are a full family-run business. We've been in business since 1965. So last year we actually celebrated 60 years. So that in Jersey alone is a feat by itself. But we try our best to kind of serve everybody in our area. And thankfully enough, we do get a lot of people coming from Philly and all places of New Jersey. And we do our best, and we're looking to get a little bit better with the training and classes and stuff like that, but we do pretty good so far.
Yeah, and it's great to have you here. I've actually been to April's facility. That's where Josh and I went for one of the performance groups. Great facility in a great area, like a little college town in Jersey. So just really pleased that she is here to grow her facility as well. So Brenton, just let us know introduce yourself and your background a little bit.
So I've been a instructor in firearms from handgun, shotgun, patrol rifle. I normally do a lot of law enforcement training. I've been a law enforcement instructor since about 2008. I am a lieutenant on a public safety department at a trauma center hospital. So that's my full-time job. But I've been training and teaching for about the last 10 years in firearms, active shooter, defense tactics, verbal de-escalation, and so on.
Great. Good to see you, Brenton. Good to see you in the call. And that brings us over to...
This is Yuridia.
Yeah, there you are.
It's Yuridia. It's Yuri. How's everyone doing? We are with Tactical Edge Customs. It's a fairly new business that we kicked off about a year ago. We do Cerakote, we do laser porting, we do laser engraving and whatnot, and now we're venturing into the world of training. So my husband's not in at the moment. He is at work. He couldn't step away, but yeah, we're excited to be here and excited for what's to come.
Great. And are we booked for Thursday through Saturday next week?
Yes, I believe we are. Just trying to reschedule an appointment for him, and we should be good to go. If anything, We'll just reschedule the appointment.
That's awesome. Jim, that's the go-ahead for you to buy your ticket. And if anybody else wants to come to an NRA Certified Instructor Certification Program Thursday through Saturday of next week, feel free to make your way down to Florida. We'll talk about it offline. Feel free to message me. But if you want to become a certified firearm instructor with the NRA, a certified pistol instructor, Thursday through Saturday of next week here in my home spot of Ocala, Florida. Fly into Orlando, and we will make sure we get you here. All right, moving forward, another announcement that I want to make is a long time coming. A lot of the times we go to Temu and we save money and we, build relationships with businesses that don't really have our back because we're buying from Temu and things like that. And so, as we all know, Jim has been just a shining star in this group. A lot of you guys have met with Jim one-on-one. Jim approached me to become a coach in this group group because he had so much success in his group and so much of an e-commerce background. Well, he has tried to solve another problem for us with his new pistol kit. And so when he first debuted his gun cleaning kit, it was really a universal gun cleaning kit. It solved a lot of problems. And I just mentioned to him kind of passing, I said, Jim, we'd love to see a gun cleaning kit just for firearm instructors and, gun businesses that, it's a kit small enough to put right in a range bag. And Jim has been spending a lot of time and a lot of money investing in the answer to that call. And so he has debuted a gun cleaning kit called the Compact Pistol Cleaning Kit. This is for pistol only, 22, 357, 38, 9, 40, and 45. It's literally 3 inches tall, 11 and a quarter inches wide, but it really fits in that range bag, but it solves a major problem, right? Number one is all of your students are going to buy a gun cleaning kit anyway. They may as well buy it from you. And with this kit being under $8 a kit and you can sell it for $24.95, this kit is a big money maker for you, or it can be something that you give away or something that you provide as a bonus to them joining up in your classes, which we all need. Any bonus to go in, we can use. And so he's actually launched some real serious and aggressive pricing. This is just for Warrior Marketing Group associated people. So you're not going to see this anywhere else. And anybody that's not a Warrior Marketing Group associated business is not going to get this pricing. But he's launched a 100 kit dealer pack for $7.95 per kit, or you can get 50 for $8.95. But really, if you get that 100 kit dealer pack, he has enough in stock for 5 people to jump in on this. And it's 50 kits on deposit. So basically, you get 50 kits immediately, and then 50 kits when the next batch comes in. And that locks you in at that pricing. And so what he asks for you is 50%. And then when it comes in, the second 50%. And so I'll pass it over to Jim, but I want to send you guys a link. He only got enough in for the first 5 instructors. So I'd love to see you guys jump on that. But this solves the problem with, not going to Temu and instead focusing on a business that is, an American business.
Yeah, one of the reasons a lot of you that I've spoken to, or a lot of you that have ordered our universal kits. So really, in talking with Andy and talking with you guys, we decided to manufacture this kit. We only brought in on this initial order, we only brought in like 500 kits. And the goal really is, all of you are working with marketing and trying to get butts in seats. This kit is a no-brainer, high profit item for you guys. And it's really designed, for your new shooter accelerator program. I'm more than willing, and Andy has given me the green light. I can work with you guys in our one-on-one trainings. The kit, it's a good quality kit. You guys can research my company online. We've got a good name. A lot of you guys are looking for absolutely lowest price, which I understand. We all are. We all do the same thing. But, I'm a manufacturer. I manufacture this stuff, and you're not going to be able to get a cleaning kit, a 6 caliber cleaning kit for under $8 that you can easily retail for $25. We're talking 60 points, and, it's going to be, we're not exactly sure where we're going to go, 3-6 months from now on pricing. I am going to be selling this on our website. We're not going to be selling this one on Amazon, but on our website, we're going to be offering it at $25. So to give you an idea, so we're not looking at competing with any of you guys, but really the goal is you've now got something you can give away, sell it at half price if you want. I don't care what you do with the kits, give them away, sell them at full retail. The goal is use it as a tool, however you want in your marketing, to get people into your classes. And that's truly it. It'll benefit my company. It'll benefit you guys. It's a good kit. And we just don't have a lot. Normally when we're manufacturing kits, we manufacture between 5 and 10,000. Until we've actually got some type of street cred with this kit, we always start off with a small order. So we've got enough now, order them right now. Andy's going to drop the link, and I'll be able to ship half of your order, whatever it be 50 or 100 kits. It's maxed at 100 kits. Actually, I've already been asked about ordering 500 kits, and I can't ship. I don't want to do that. I'd rather get many of you being able to see our product if you've never ordered it before. I mean, my gosh, for 300 and something bucks for the initial order, let's get you 50 kits. Use them in your marketing, use them in your advertising, and I'll do everything I can from this end. Our customer service will handle any issues to your customers. Okay. So if there's a problem with anything in our kits, we handle it here. And I'm a coaching student as well. So everything that you're going to be going through is a funnel. It's all a funnel, everything. So I'm more than happy to talk to you about, how we produce the funnel, what we use to produce the funnel, how we process payments. So if you're still green on developing that kind of stuff, we can chat. So I'm really looking forward to helping you guys get, our product onto your shelves or in your stores. But it's a good, profitable item for you guys. And I really appreciate the opportunity, Andy.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, Jim. All right, moving forward, we're going to get back to our Facebook ads venture here. And this has been slated for a 3-series campaign. It looks like it may be a little bit longer than 3 series because I really want to make sure that we really go in depth on Facebook. But last week, we kind of left off with conversion location, and we talked about conversions. So if you guys missed the conversions last week, it is in the vault right now. I want to make sure you guys see it. Now we're going to talk a little bit about running gun ads without bans in them. So for instance, today I just recorded some new videos for a Colorado Springs workshop that I've got coming up. And I literally said in the ad, this is how I'm in an ad right now with a gun in it and I'm not getting banned, and I held the gun up. And so when you're running ads on Facebook, my general rule of thumb is that we need to get approved to run gun ads on Facebook. To get approved to run gun ads on Facebook, we need to get approved to run ads about social issues, elections, and politics. And remember that to do this, all we've got to do is go to facebook.com/ID and get our approval started in that section, facebook.com/ID. So we need to get approved for running ads about social issues, about elections, about politics in order to run ads with guns in them. But you need to use that tool all the time, because when you use that tool, you really limit your targeting to people that are really most interested in politics and elections. And sometimes you may not want to use that tool. So for instance, we just launched Jason's ads last week, and I'll just show you Jason's ads campaign because I think I still have it on my screen here. I do. So Jason's had really 2 signups. One was a test, but he's getting signups for his class at $18.78. So every time he gives Facebook about $18, he gets a new signup for his class. And remember, that means that he actually had 4 people register for his class because he had 2 people sign up. It's a buy one, get one, right? So we had 4 people register at $55 per person. And so with this ad, we did not turn on the setting for elections and politics, because if you take a look at his ad, he's running the standard News Shooter Accelerator ad, which if you guys are joining the program, you guys will run this ad exactly as well. We don't need to turn on the social issues, elections, and politics button on this one because the gun isn't the most prominent feature on there. So as we go through all of his pictures, all of his slides, all of his images, right, those are his pictures and images. The gun is not the most prominent thing on here. But when we have the gun being the most prominent product on the page, that's when we want to turn on our feature for that, right? So when we look at my page here, the Andy the Gun Guy page, I do have a series of ads and a series of content that I do that is 100% gun focused. An example would be this one here. This is an ad.
So many people think that Facebook is anti-gun. So they take a shotgun approach to their marketing. Truth is, I've trained 30,000 people in
because
fire.
that ad is 100% gun focused and the gun is the focus of the ad. That's when you want to turn on your ad for social issues, elections, or politics, because that's when it can be a little bit where Facebook gets a little bit antsy about the fact that there are firearms being featured. Now, if the firearm is just like a side note, like we just saw with Jason's ad or the News Shooter Accelerator ad, we just shouldn't turn on social issues, elections, or politics because it's not necessary and it can limit our reach. But when the gun is prominent and you want that gun to be prominent, it is wise to turn on your ad issue about social issues, elections, or politics so that you don't get in trouble with Facebook and you get a suspension from Facebook. Now, what I want you guys to do, remember, is we're going to write down our questions in this, as we go through. I want you to write down your questions so we can ask our questions at the end. We will make sure that we have plenty of time for that. So when to use it? Use the special ad category when your ad is about Second Amendment rights, right? So here's another example of Second Amendment rights, the 2A day that Sean just launched in his ad, right? Sean from Saddle River just launched an ad, and we'll show you his ad too. We debuted this last week, but his ad is about the 2A day, the Second Amendment day at Second Amendment elections or politics ad. This has to be an ad about social issues, because he says this is a 2A day. Take a look.
Hey guys, this is Sean over at Saddle River Range. I'm inviting you to come join us in celebrating our country's 250th anniversary and National 2A Day on June 27th. We're going to have
So because he said it's a Second Amendment Day and the country's 250th anniversary, even though he's not featuring guns in this ad, it was required by Facebook for him to, his ad actually got disapproved because it was not listed as a special category. And so you want to use it when you are advertising anything with the gun as the central focus, or anything Second Amendment, or anything country, or anything, value related. But we can skip it when your ad is really about safety training or class schedules. Like we've got a Saturday CCW class, learn gun safety. Like that's not political, that's just training. So you can skip it when you're not using those. And so now we want to talk about cost per result. Okay. So cost per result, the section that we're in right now is creating the actual ad. And so I'll go back to my ad account so that I'm not messing up anybody's ad if I accidentally hit publish here. But the category that we are talking about, right? So just as a quick recap, there are 3 levels of your ad: your campaign, your ad set, and your ads. All right. Campaign is the big idea. Ad set is who and how, and ads are what people see. So we were creating a fictitious sales ad. And when we're in here, we just talked about special ad categories, which brings us over to the ad set level. So we talked already about our conversion location in the last call. So that brings us down to the next section, which is our cost cap and our goals here, right? So when we are dealing with our bidding strategy, we want to have our highest volume on and not turn on a cost per result goal. What I mean by that, another word for like bid cap and cost per result goal, is that I feel like this is really a trap for beginners, because it sounds like it's really great that we can limit Facebook to only showing our ads if we're going to get $5 per lead or $5 cost per acquisition on signups. But the reason that our cost per results, either on the campaign or on the ad set level, is a trap for beginners is if you set a cost cap, Facebook must operate within that cost cap. And it gets too scared to spend and so it doesn't. Your ads slow down and your results dry up. You literally can't even spend. So my rule for cost cap is to leave it blank and let the algorithm run free. Get the data, then decide. Because look at right now, we just talked about Jason's account. He brand new account, ran the very first ad ever run in his entire history, and he's getting his cost per result at roughly, let's just go to the maximum here, right? 1882 is actually not right. Let's do 5645. He's actually had 5645, 2 signups from that. So his cost per acquisition is $28. So he's trading $28 for 75. But remember that with the New Shooter Accelerator, when we first launch it, we launch a buy one, get one. So he actually has spent $56.40 and gotten 4 signups. So he's actually traded $14 to Facebook for each person that's going to attend his class. So would we trade $14 for 75 and an opportunity to give an invitation and sell a $1,000 program? Yes, that is a good trade all day. In fact, if you're spending $100 per sign up, per $75 sign up, that's still a good trade. Because if you spend $100 getting a sign up and 2 people sign up, you've actually traded $50 for $75 and the ability to sell an invitation at the end of the class. And so that we don't use cost per result goals. It just makes Facebook too stingy to spend our. Now, there are 2 ways to set budget on your campaign. There is conversion budget optimization, CBO, ad set budget optimization. The main difference is where you set your budget is how Facebook optimizes your campaign. So when we do a conversion budget optimization rather than an ad budget optimization, campaign budget optimization rather than ad set budget optimization, what we're doing on a campaign budget optimization, saying, hey, we're going to set the budget on the, you're going to see it under campaign in the ad. You're going to see your daily budget here. Got this choice. Do I set my budget strategy with campaign budget or with my ad set budget? I want you to set your budget at the campaign budget optimization because we very rarely use multiple ad sets until you are much more advanced at advertising. So if you're a new advertiser, set it, your default should be campaign budget optimization. What a campaign budget optimization does is it will take the best performing ad and it will optimize your best performing ad set based on what it believes is going to be your top performer. So if you have one campaign with multiple ad sets, then what it's going to do, like my Dallas campaign I recently ran, going to do is it's going to take your one ad set and it's going to, it wasn't Knoxville. It's going to take your one campaign and it's going to distribute your ad spend based on the campaigns that it thinks is going to win the most. So if we look at my Knoxville ad, okay, so my Knoxville had the campaign is called Knoxville Ads ABO. So what a campaign budget optimization will do is it will take all of these different ad sets, right? Each one of these ad set for me, I'll explain why later, but each one of these ads has a separate angle on it. And I'm running a separate angle. And so what Facebook is going to do is going to take my one budget from my campaign level and it's going to distribute it based on what it thinks is going to win. Not based on anything else, but what Facebook thinks it's going to win. So my workshop ads get the majority of the ad spend, whereas my money angle might get zero ad spend at all. In fact, it may not even deliver because Facebook knows that that is not going to work. So that's what a campaign optimization does, is it optimizes, the campaign chooses where your budget is going to go. Now, ad set budget optimization, we basically tell Facebook what we want our budget to be on each individual ad set within a campaign. So for my campaign, I did choose ad set budget optimization because I wanted each campaign to spend an amount that I told Facebook to spend. So I wanted this campaign to spend 50, this campaign to spend 20, this campaign to spend 20, 20, and 20. And so because I did that, and I wanted the ads in that ad set to be shown independently and not allow Facebook to choose, I chose ad set budget optimization. But if you just want Facebook algorithm to make a decision for you, then you want to choose campaign budget optimization versus ad set optimization. Okay, so campaign budget optimization, if you have multiple ad sets, campaign budget optimization will have Facebook decide which ads spend based on Facebook's decision on which ones are going to have the best outcome. Whereas ad set budget optimization is me telling Facebook, no, I don't want you to decide. I want to decide. And I add an independent budget to each individual ad inside the ad set. For the most part, what I want you to do to start out is I want you to do CBOs, one campaign, one ad set, multiple ads. One ad set, multiple ads inside that ad set. So a minimum of 5. So for your campaign budget optimization, the difference is where you set the budget, and on the campaign optimization, you set it at the campaign level at the top. Facebook decides the spend, and it's really, really good for national campaigns. But in some cases, if you want to run an ad set budget optimization where you have multiple angles that you want to be seen, right? So this, in this case, with my campaign for Knoxville, what I wanted to do for Knoxville is I wanted to have multiple angles hit the same audience over and over and over and over again. This is the reason that I forced to display my ads from my different goals to my local audience. Because what I was doing is I wanted to test different ads, right? Ads from actually inside the workshop right? So this is the ad from inside the workshop. Take a look at it, right? So this is me in a workshop, and I wanted the ad to be seen. And then the call to action at the end is get signed up, right? And so I wanted to force Facebook to show that. But to the same audience at the same time, I wanted to force Facebook to see a freedom angle. And the freedom angle of this ad is literally me talking about, how free you can be when you're no longer money constrained, right? When you're no longer, constrained to not have
Instructor, shooting ranges and gun stores. I've trained over 30,000 students and built that into $1 million firearm training business. And now I coach firearm instructors.
So, it gets to the freedom angle in here where I talk about how free you'll be to teach your classes. Then I wanted to test at the same time, a respect angle, a status angle, a money angle, right? And so because I wanted these different angles to be tested, the ads inside of each ad set are specifically about that particular topic: freedom, respect, status, money, or just videos from the workshop. That's when I wanted to force Facebook to show that same audience different angles so that I could find out the winning angle. Okay. That's when I choose to use an ad set budget optimization. That's why I'm saying when you first started with your campaigns, start with start with campaign budget optimization until you get to a point where you're running more advanced ads. And remember that in the beginning, we don't need advanced ads, because when we first run our ads, it's really, really easy to get people to convert, because the easy people to convert, the easy people to sign up quickly. But as our ads go to the same audience over and over and over, it gets harder and harder and harder to convert the people, because the easy people have already come to us. And now it's harder to convert the next people. And so we have to get better and better and better and more skilled at our ads. And so, but in the beginning, run conversion budget. When you get more advanced and you start running ads with different angles in them, that's when you can move over to ad set budget optimization. So again, write down your questions. That's a difficult one. I think I kind of explained that. So the secret that I just used is that I forced Facebook to spend ads, to show ads to the same audience on a local basis. I did force that. Now, we're going to go over to location targeting. Okay. In location targeting, this is the next step in creating your ad, right? So are we going to do CBO or ABO? We've decided on our conversion status. We've decided on that. Now we're going to talk about targeting, because on targeting, the only thing I ever want you to target is by a geographic radius of some sort. So you can use zip codes, cities, you can drop pins and set a range, and you can use that for your geographic targeting. There are some cases where it's appropriate to advertise directly to women or advertise directly to men, but I don't recommend it. I think that your content should be what chooses your delivery, not the actual reduction of Facebook's ability to choose, because Facebook will make better choices than we can. But we absolutely want to target by zip codes. But the problem is, by default, and I'll show you this as an example live, the problem by default is that when we go to create a new ad, here we go to create our new fictitious sales ad, and we go to our ad set, and then inside of our ad set, we scroll down to audience. Okay, by the way, when you are looking at audience, it looks like you can't change it, right? It looks like you can't actually edit anything. But if you put your mouse over here, it does say edit. By default, I never advertise to Alaska, Hawaii, Maryland, or Citrus County, Florida. I don't advertise to Alaska because I don't want to ship books to Alaska or Hawaii. I don't advertise to Maryland because I already own the state and all of my instructors are killing it over there, and I don't want to inundate them with more instructors that are competition. And I don't advertise to Citrus County, Florida, because there are bad people there. But when you advertise by state or by location, what you're going to see here is this button right here that says show more controls. And underneath this button is a secret button, which says minimum age, which I don't touch, legal and operational custom audience exclusion. This is if you, I won't even explain, just don't use it. And then suggest an audience, which says we'll also reach people beyond any custom audience, age, gender, and detailed targeting settings when you apply when it's likely to improve your campaign performance. So they're basically saying that no matter what you put up here, they're going to do what they want to do anyway, which is good for us because they are much smarter than we are. But we do want to understand that we can further the limit of our ads. We can further change our ads if we want to, where we can, further limit it if we want to do that. But I honestly just want you guys to trust the algorithm for now. But the problem is that when we add in our location, let me say that I want to do a location in Colorado Springs, and I click Colorado Springs. What it does by default is it says, reach more people likely to respond to your ads. And it has this checkbox. We'll also show ads to people interested in your selected cities, regions, and in those countries. We absolutely want to turn that off. Also, that's when it says, hey, you're going to get a 6.7 lower result. Yeah, maybe if I get somebody interested in Colorado Springs, but I want people only in Colorado Springs for this ad, right? What I do to ensure this, because Facebook by default says we'll also reach people beyond what you've chosen, I add excludes. And the excludes that I add are every state that is not the state that I'm looking for, right? So what I do is I come over to ChatGPT and I say, give me a list of all states that are not Colorado. And I say separated by commas. Okay, so what it's going to do is it's going to give me 49 states separated by commas without Colorado in there. And now I'm going to take these 49 states and I'm going to come back over to my ad set and I'm going to go to my exclude and I'm going to paste these in there. Then I'm going to choose location type is regions or states, and I'm going to match locations. And then it matches the locations like to 60 different places. We need to exclude the countries that it matches, right? And what I mean by that is like, let's get rid of Mexico. We don't need that in our list. Let's get rid of Georgia. Where's Georgia? Uruguay. We don't need that. Puerto Rico. We don't need that. Georgia, that's the country Georgia, not the state Georgia. It just got confused, right? So I get rid of all those. And at the end of it, I bulk add 49 states to my exclusions so that I greater force Facebook to only show ads in my particular state because I don't want to spend money advertising to other states when I'm doing local, right? So that's what I do. That's really kind of what this slide was about. All right, now let's talk about placements. So placements, okay, on the campaign level, that's when we come down all the way to placements where we can edit placement controls. So what a placement is on Facebook is when we're actually looking at Facebook, a placement here is called our news feed. A placement here is called the right-hand side. If we go over to our marketplace and we look at our marketplace ads, let me see if I can see the marketplace here. Marketplace, there it is. So when we're looking at marketplace ads, right? So as we're scrolling here, we're going to see some ads come up in the marketplace. So that's a particular listing. And then also on Instagram, you have multiple different placements. I used to advertise only on placements that I controlled. So I would turn off Audience Network, native, banner, interstitial. I would turn off Audience Network rewarded videos. I would turn off Marketplace and Facebook right column. But I started to find over time that my ads increased. So you can experiment with placements and you can remove, if you do remove under show more settings and you change your platforms, you can remove Messenger, you can remove Audience Network if you so desire. The best two to advertise on by far are Facebook and Instagram, but I have not, as of late, found lower cost per acquisition by removing the placements that I used to remove. That is something to experiment with, but do it sparingly. When you first launch and you're getting the easy people, don't turn all of that off. But as you go, if you want to test out your placements, you can test out your placements and turn in your exclusions if you want to. Also, so if you are going to experiment with that, what you're going to want to do is, you can turn off stories, you can turn off reels, you can turn off, anything but the newsfeed, but do leave the newsfeed on. Right? So leave the Instagram newsfeed and leave the Facebook newsfeed on as the minimum. Okay. Now, bringing us to the ad level. Let's check our time here. I'm going to go ahead and open it up to questions right now. because we are on the ad level. So that way we start clean next week. We had a lot of announcements on this call, which means we didn't get super far, but we did accomplish the ad set level. But now that we're on the ad level, I don't want to get into this and then stop halfway and then have to jump back in when we did ad sets. So let's open up the floor to questions. The questions can be relevant to Facebook ads, or the questions can be relevant to the entire program in itself. Go ahead, Murph.
Matt and I are using a lot of the automations now. We made a bunch for people in the gym for follow-ups, and they're actually working already. We launched them 2 days ago, and we got, I think, 4 more good prospects from people that found us organically through our website, but we put them in there. So that's a win, right? You love wins. But the question I have is, the trigger that we have in the automation is ad tag, right? And the tag is, for example, day pass. I put another trigger after that, not another trigger, I put another step, and it was add tag with the same one, day pass. And the reason is I want to use that later on in case they come in through a different trigger, right? So I put a trigger. Will that, if I have day pass tagged immediately and then down later on add day pass, will that add a second day pass tag and different automations?
No, there won't be a separate tag added. The tag will just remain the same, but it won't be added twice. Yeah, totally. So I've got a lot of campaigns where I've got a trigger and then I add the tag again, because the people that come in a different way, I still want to add that tag.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, totally. Yep. Great. And so tell me more. So you meant about that automation. You're having some wins. So tell me a little bit about that. What does the automation do?
The way they enter the automation on the website, my gym management software is MindBody, and they have something called Heal Code. It's just a string of code, and it puts a CTA box on there. That CTA box puts them immediately into MindBody, name, address, everything, whatever comment, whatever service they want. So normally we handle that we send a log to one of my guys, my sales guy, he follows up. And that seems like he's chasing them all the time. So I made an automation, and it sends a text message out immediately. Hey, thanks for your interest in TPS. Book your free consultation right now, right? Brings them to the calendar if they want to. And then they get an email, blah, blah, blah. Have you booked your consultation? Then we do a touch every day, and then we're going to add some branches off of it. But what that does is that gets that immediate touch in case Russ isn't in. You know what I mean? They're getting it, like you say, call them within the first minute.
Yes, within the first minute, like within the first 60 seconds, you want that person's phone to ring. Yeah, exactly right. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome.
We had 6 come in, and I think Matt might be on the call. He could step in if he wants to correct me, but I think we had 6 leads come in the past 2 days, and we got 3 in the pipeline that have booked or are booking appointments.
And where did the leads come from?
They're organic right off the website from Google.
Fantastic.
From those Heal Code leads.
Fantastic. So it's really your job to get more of those leads in.
Yeah.
Yep. Fantastic, Murph. Great work. All right, what else we got?
Yeah, quick question while it's on the top of my head. So when I start putting some different ads out and stuff like that for social issues and things like that, how do we know how much is, what's going to trigger that? How much is too much gun, or what the topic you're talking about? Like for instance, I'm going to start doing, I got to get some new accelerated ads out, but for Texas license to carry, if I start mentioning that, even if I don't show guns, is that going to trigger something?
No, that's fine, because that's straight training. Remember, training is not in a special category. Firearm training is not in a special category. Showing the gun is, because the gun is related to politics. Firearm training is not. Okay, so it is 2 separate ideas. So if you're standing in front of your camera and you have a gun in your hand, you say, hey, come get your Texas license to carry. Yes, social issues. If you're standing in front of a camera and there's a few guns throughout the video, I'm not worried about it. But if the gun is the primary focus of the video, if the gun is the primary focus of the ad, it's the primary attention getter, then it's probably time to do social issues.
All right, so I could be at the range as long as nobody's shooting out, or I'm not home.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only question I can think of now. And I just want to throw something out real quick. If anyone wants to help me out with my my Google business page, man, I want to get that going, because I got denied the first time. So just want to throw that out if anybody wants to ping me.
If anybody has a home-based business that has been successful getting Google verification, what I had to do was I had to go out to the street with my cell phone and record a video at the street corner, walking all the way to my house. I had to have a sign outside my house with my house number, and then I had to have business cards and my website on my computer.
Yeah, I did all that. I did all that. Street sign, house address, booking software, business card. I think my mistake was that I think I listed the address. I think I'm supposed to hide it. So I just kind of want to revisit that and get it up and going and start getting my reviews going, because I'm getting reviews.
My address is out. I have my address out there.
That's strange. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, I have my address out there.
But you operate classes at your house, though, right?
I had to do it. I had to make that same video several different times.
Okay.
Several different times.
So,
yeah.
Okay. Because from what I've read, it says, you get 2 chances. So I'm like, okay, I'm kind of a little hesitant to do it again, but I'll run through it again. I guess I'll try to see what others did. But I think if
If anybody has any advice for him, message him on Slack, please.
yeah, awesome. Thanks.
What other questions do we have?
If I could just say something, Andy.
Yeah, Gary.
I want you guys to know that I am now a convicted Facebook felon. I have been battling them now for probably almost 8 weeks. Social issues, venereal disease, anything else they could come up with. It's been a battle, but I finally got through it. I was told by every AI in the world, never go after Facebook more than 2 times. Well, I went after them 4 times and they finally said, okay, you're right. We got you. You're good. And I did everything. I did the tag, the social issues thing and everything, got that all approved. And the only way that I got through this was I had to do the $14 verification thing a month. And once I did that, they're like, oh yeah, you're fine. You're good. Okay. You're out of jail. See you. Have a nice day.
Well, the benefit of the $14 thing a month is one thing, and that's that you get better access to support.
Yep.
Okay. So if anybody is struggling with Facebook, do it. It's $14 a month. Facebook is your bread and butter, right? So it gives you better access to support, which actually gets you humans to respond. And that alone, I think, is worth the money, right? So congratulations, Gary. I'm glad you got
the last thing is I want you to know that Ask Andy is definitely your personality, because when I was going through this and asked him a few things and told him I didn't like something, he actually said he was going to come, if he could, he would come through the screen, grab me by the neck and choke me. And my jaw dropped, but then I realized the humor in it. It was so hilarious. And then we made up and everything's fine.
Well, I'm glad that it did that. It definitely, I have had times in my life where I'm coaching certain people that I do want to jump through the screen at them. It is not often. And I'm sure that you have the patience of a saint, Gary. And I got to tell you, Gary, look, I know it's tough being in a new program and I know it's tough learning tech, but you're killing it, man. You're learning so much. You and Jeff, you're learning so much. So congratulations to you. Because remember, I told you in the beginning, and this goes for everybody that's in this program, everybody that starts this program, there's going to be a point in the beginning where you want to rip your hair out, punch your computer, and fight the whole thing. But if you get past that point, it's greatness. Jason had that point, and now Jason's getting signups. Shawnee had that. For months, Shawnee had that. And now Shawnee is like the star of the show, right? Killing it, right? So, that is part of the process, and it's part of learning any new skill. So I appreciate that, Gary. Mike, I see your hand up.
I just want to give a quick win. We're hosting a 5-day training event next weekend, and we got enough signups and are bringing in $12,000 for this big training event that we're doing. So great ad sets went out, a whole bunch of signups, and a whole bunch of people are going to get trained. So
Mike, that's fantastic. Do you want to share what your process is, what your landing page is, and maybe some ads too?
We mixed in we combined some stuff on this one. So I ended up making the initial landing page is actually on the website. It's not in the funnel system, but then it goes into a funnel for the purchases itself. There was a $30 upsell too for a t-shirt for the event. That was our Raptor t-shirts, which all of those just came in. If I get them out of the bag, I was going to show you guys. They literally just came in. Everybody can see that. No, wait, here we go. Oh, it's not okay. It's not focusing. Well, and the camera's being stupid because it's an AI camera. All right, so shirts are in. That worked for getting our costs back for the ad spend, and then our ad sets. We had multiple still frame flyer ones that went out in addition to our videos that went out with them too, and just kind of staggered them a little bit, and then we cut them off for a little bit once we hit saturation, and then we just started them back up for just a last push before the event, and then we added on a countdown timer once we got within 10 days of the event. And so all of that layered together seems to have done pretty good this time.
Great work, Mike. Really proud of you. And is it a 5-day challenge? Will you be having an invitation?
We actually have 3 sponsors for the event. Our friends out in Georgia, Canco Silencers, they're donating a Trapper 22 suppressor for a giveaway, and in addition to t-shirts and hats and swag and everything. And then we've got a guy that we met with OPE Gear. He's coming up with a Winona, and he's going to be donating 2 new chest rigs, and these are the same rigs because he just won the contract for the California National Guard, and these are going to be the chest rigs that they're going to be they're running for their guys. And wow. I can even, where's my screen share? I can even share that with you real quick.
I'd love to see it.
If I can find where the buttons are. Everything's moved. There it is. Share. Okay. So
cool.
That's the flyer that was going out for the giveaway.
Great.
And then our videos did pretty dang good too.
You're so photogenic,
here.
brother.
I am a sexy bastard, especially in all my gear when I got my Batman utility belt on and all that stuff.
Cool. That's cool. That's a great photo, man.
Keeping you dumb pouch, Mike.
Water, crayons when I get hungry. Otherwise, a shot timer, pasties. We've moved on from using a ton of the tan pasties. This is a bit of advice for everybody. If you're using IPSC targets, you're training, just get 3-inch black circles stickers. Cheap as heck. 500 to 1,000 rolls on Amazon. Put those high thoracic cavity in your A zone, and then what happens is, okay, you can use that for not only diagnostics when you're working with them on their grip and their, their sight picture, the trigger control, all that stuff. But once they start annihilating it, well, you just throw up a new sticker, and so they'll know if they're missing or not because they're hitting anything else but the actual black circle. And so it'll actually save you on having to have you or your students go down with a pasty gun constantly. I mean, you'll still do it occasionally depending on what you're doing, but throw up the 3-inch black circles. I stole that from my buddy Josh at WPS when I was hanging out with him last. And that's what they started using too. And I'm like, I'm absolutely cannibalizing that.
Super smart.
Yeah. I have that ad here. Yeah, here's like an example of one of the ads.
Your rifle is only as effective as your training. Carbine Operations 1 teaches the foundations every responsible rifle owner should know. And this is where preparation starts. Not politics, not theory, real-world capability. Train with purpose.
That is phenomenal. Did you run that one as a social issue?
We know. And now hearing all this, now I kind of wish we did.
That was a risk. Yeah, that was a risk.
Yeah.
Because the gun is the primary.
Yep, hands down. And so we did 4 versions of those, one for each of the classes: handgun operations 1 and 2, carbine operations 1 and 2, and then our vehicle operations course. That actually sold out. We only did 15 slots for that. They immediately sold out by a church security group. And I'm like, can we just buy them all? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you.
Fantastic, Mike. I mean, just great work, man. It's great to hear that. It's great to hear that great win. Thank you for that. We've got time for one more, guys.
A quick question. So I have like my personal Facebook profile, but then I also started a business page on Facebook. Yep. But then when I try to connect things, it's all kind of interconnected to my personal profile. Then I can kind of select, back and forth which one. But I'm having issues trying to then set up from the business aspect with the marketing because it's going to my personal one and I have to then select the business page. Is there a easier way to go about that, or am I kind of doing that wrong?
So you have to get your approval to run social issues, elections, and politics via your personal page. Once you are approved, then we have to do some things on your business page. But the first step is to do it on your personal page for sure, your personal profile. Yep. Okay. So when you're logged into your personal profile, go to facebook.com/ID, and then you can start that process, but make sure you're logged in as your personal there first. Once you get that approval, let me know. And there's another step to do on your business page to make sure that is the business page. But that's what you want to start with that. And then remember that as you guys are struggling, especially you new folks, right? Jason, April, Brenton, you can schedule time with our team at warriormarketinggroup.com. So go to warriormarketinggroup.com, hit book a call, and don't hesitate. I want you guys to use this because even though you guys are, gonna struggle a little bit, and struggle is real and struggle is healthy because it means you're learning, I don't want you to struggle alone. And so for those of you guys who are in that level package, which is all 4 of you guys that joined today or this week, go use those calls. Also remember the work parties on Thursday. How was the work party yesterday? Was it great? I wasn't able to get on. Shawnee, was it great?
Yes, we showed a bunch of stuff about on my Facebook ads and how it's going for me. People ask questions, so I think it was great.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, and look forward to that being in your vault here shortly, guys. I've got 3 new video editors that started with us. Actually, so also I see in the conversation, Richard said Black Dot. So yeah, Mike, can you send the Black Dot link on Slack rather than Zoom here? All right, guys, we'll see you guys next week. Get armed, get trained, carry daily. Long live the Republic. See you next week.